thanks for watching the video. If you could do me and the channel a favor, hop down to the comment section and let me know what decks you guys want me to make next. And while you're down there, if you could drop a like and subscribe, it'd help out a lot. With that being said, enjoy the video and have a great day. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we have a Regidrago VSTAR list. Now, this list is not my own. This is the first and fourth placing list at LAIC this last year, and it's just an incredibly powerful list. The reason that I did not go with the Calvin Connor list that took first in Toronto is because this list is tailored for a commenter, actually one of my first viewers, and this is kind of a favor of them, this video, so thank you very much for watching and always commenting. This deck is also different from my typical because it does include F-Mark cards, which is obvious because Regidrago itself is an F-Mark card, and thus will not be legal throughout the next year. But yeah, like I said, this deck did take first and fourth place at LAIC. There was a second place list that was very similar to the deck that took first in Bogota, playing a Noctowl tech, but I prefer this list much more. So let's just hop right into it. Obviously, we have a 3-3 line of Regidrago V, Regidrago VSTAR. It has 280 health, which isn't super much. The attack Apex Dragon for 2 grass and 1 fire that lets you choose an attack from a dragon type Pokemon in your discard pile and use that attack. So super powerful, and that's obviously going to be what we're using throughout this entirety of the game. And then its VSTAR is Legacy Star. And you discard the top 7 and then put 2 cards from your discard pile into your hand. So the reason this is so good is because not only is it going to get you your dragon type Pokemon in the discard pile to use their attacks, but when you put 2 cards in your hand, it's not from those 7 that you discarded, it's from your whole discard pile. So super powerful attack, way to get whatever you need back. And yeah, let's move along. So for our support Pokemon, we have 4 copies of Teal Mask Ogerpon EX in here for the Teal Dance ability. Once during your turn, you may attach a basic grass energy card from your hand to this Pokemon. If you do so, you may draw a card. So great draw engine, as well as getting energy onto the board, because then we can energy switch the grass over to our Apex Dragon Regidrago, so we can get those attacks going right away. We also have 1 copy of Mew EX as a support Pokemon in here for its restart ability. When your hand is below 3, you may draw until you have 3, 180 HP, free retreat, which is also really nice, and then genome hacking, you can copy one of your opponent's attacks, so that can be used, but more times than not, we're just going to be going in with Regidrago. And our last, one more. One of our other support Pokemon is Squawkabilly EX. In here for its Squawk and Seize. Once during your first turn, and your first turn only, you may discard your hand and draw 6. So, nice little hand reset. Since this deck does want to go first, we're able to use that right away. And hopefully get some Dragon-type Pokemon in the discard and keep our hand alive. Motivate is also useful because since you're discarding so much, and we don't play a lot of energy in this deck, Motivate can be used in certain situations. And our final support Pokemon is going to be the Cleffa. So, Grasping Draw, draw until you have 7 cards in hand, free retreat, doesn't cost anything, single prize when it gets knocked out, so just a really nice card to have in here, being able to attack early game, in case you're not able to get that Regidrago going. Just a little extra cards to your hand can be really useful for the next turn. Now, as for our Dragon-type Pokemon that we are trying to discard so that we can copy their attacks with Apex Dragon, we have 1 copy of Haxorus for its Bring Down the Axe attack. If your opponent's active Pokemon has any special energy attached, it is knocked out. So this is Terapagos. This is, double turbo energy Terapagos. This is Cloth. This is any Lugia deck. So the reason I prefer Haxorus in this deck is because those matchups are so prominent, especially in the Latin American region. So we like to make sure that those Lugias are taken out, especially because, here I got the numbers here. Oh, never mind, wrong numbers. Regardless, here, very common matchups, and Bring Down the Axe just gives you the solution to that. We also have Giratina VSTAR in here. This is for its Lost Impact attack, which is 280 damage. So this is primarily for that mirror matchup, because as you can see, Regidrago has exactly 280 health. Lost Impact is getting you that knockout. The only downside is you have to put 2 energy cards into the Lost Zone. So like I said, we don't play a ton of energy in this deck, so this can be quite costly, which is why we only want to use it when we really have to, because losing that energy can hurt us big time for late game. We have one copy of Kyurem for Trifrost. Discard all energy from this Pokemon, so not ideal, but it deals 110 to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon. This can be your active and this can be their benched. So super powerful card in here. Great for evolution decks that have a bunch of baby Pokemon. You can just snipe them. Also, if you can do a 2-turn Kyurem, that can potentially be a 6-prize turn. You know, if you're targeting things like Squawks and Pheasantippides, 2 turns and your Kyurem has taken them out, and there you go. That's tons of prize cards for you. More times than not, we're not going to be going for the 2-turn Trifrost just because you do have to discard all the energy, but it is an option and it is a powerful attack. Then in this list, we have 2 copies of Dragapult. This is because that's going to be our main attack that we're looking for, is that Phantom Dive. A lot of decks only run 1 copy and then they'll have an Executor. The reason I do not run Executor is because it leaves it up to a coin flip. This is a very technical game, and gonna be honest, Calvin Connor got really lucky with that coin flip. He played an excellent game, but when he flipped tails for the knockout for game, if he hadn't done that, it would have been probably would have been a different story for who took that win. And I prefer the consistency, quite frankly. So we do play 2 copies of Dragapult EX for its Phantom Dive, 200 damage and 6 damage counters in any way to your opponent's bench. Moving on, our last Dragon-type Pokemon that we'll be copying from is going to be Hisuian Goodra V-STAR. With its Rolling Iron, does 200 damage just like the Dragapult, but instead of dealing 60 damage in any way to your opponent's bench, you take 80 less damage from attacks. So this can be great for withstanding an attack from the mirror matchup, say, or many other things. If you are confident that your opponent is going to get the knockout, you can just use Rolling Iron, deal some damage, and last 1 turn longer. Now on to the trainers. We play 4 copies Energy Switch. This is because we're going to be putting energy onto our Teal Mask Ogerpons and then energy switching them to Regidrago. Our A-Spec is going to be Prime Catcher, just super powerful card, speaks for itself. You switch your Pokemon and you get to use it as a boss's orders on your opponent's Pokemon. 1 copy Night Stretcher. This is for mostly if an energy gets discarded and we need it, like a fire type energy. It can also work for if you get some Regidragos discarded that you don't want and you need to get that evolution. There you go. Night Stretcher's bringing them back. 4 copies Nest Ball, just for setup, getting you your Regidrago V-Stars, getting you your Teal Masks, Mew, whatever, getting you your Squawk on your first turn, etc., etc. 1 copy of Switch. This is because while the rest of these that we're trying to copy attacks from are not basics, if we get that Kyurem as in our starting hand and it's our only basic, we do not want that in the active unless we are looking to get it knocked out, which is ideal. But it's really just so we can bounce what we need, because these 2 have free retreat. Squawk only has 1 retreat, but the switch is mostly in there in case our Kyurem gets trapped, because he is a basic Pokemon, so unfortunately he could be our only Pokemon at the start of the game. 1 copy of Temple of Sinnoh. All special energy attached provide only 1 and have no other effect. Again, this is great for those matchups we mentioned before, which are super common. That Lugia, that Terapagos Cloth. And sometimes if you're playing against a lot of Cerulege decks are going to be playing Legacy Energy. So this is also going to make it so that they can't actually attack with that Legacy Energy attached. So super nice card to have in here. Great against things that play Jet Energy. Again, I know some Cerulege decks do play Jet Energies as well. So Temple of Sinnoh is going to make it so that they need to attach more. 4 copies Professor's Research. We're trying to discard those other Dragon-type Pokemon, and it's just a great hand reset, so we do play 4 copies in here. 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Just hitting what we need when we need, taking those knockouts, and hopefully slowing down our opponent just by taking out their support Pokemon as well. 2 copies of Iono. If you have a great hand and you don't want to boss it away, you can use Iono to get a fresh set of cards without having to discard something that you would want later on. As well as this works as some good hand disruption. 2 copies of Superior Energy Retrieval. So we don't play tons of energy, which 10, it feels like a good number, but it's not once you start playing the deck. So Superior Energy Retrieval is going to get us those cards back when they get discarded, as well as work as a discard. So if we have just one energy in the discard pile, but we have 2 dragon type Pokemon in our hand, we can burn this to get those dragon types into the discard pile. 4 copies Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards, find yourself a Pokemon. Again, discarding dragon type Pokemon, finding what we need. More times than not, this is going to be a Regidrago VSTAR, or it's going to be something like a Teal Mask for turn 1. 1 copy Canceling Cologne. This is in case our opponent is playing Cornerstone Ogerpon or a Mimikyu. This is going to give us the option to turn that off for a turn and get it out of our face. And then 4 copies of Earthen Vessel. Discard a card from your hand, more times than not a dragon Pokemon, and search your deck for 2 basic energy cards, allowing you to get what you need when you need. Gonna be your grass energy for your Teal Masks, and it's gonna be your fire energy for when you gotta put together an attack right away. And then as for the energy, we only play 2 fire energy and then 8 grass. So the reason we only play 2 fire is because we have those recovery options. We have the Night Stretcher and we have the 2 superior energy retrievals. In the event that both of them are prized, well, that's just incredibly unlucky, and we have to attack with Teal Mask throughout the game until we get one out of our prizes. So it's not the end of the world, and then 8 grass energy so we can use our Teal Mask's ability, and that way we'll be able to get our energy switches no problem. We'll be able to draw those cards. So the 8-2 is what I like here. You could play a 3-7, but I like the 8-2. So that's the list. I'll go ahead and hop into a playtest here, and you guys can see what this deck can do. Okay, so we're because it was shit. Alright, so we're going into our second playtest here, actually. The first one was some really weird, like, Iron Bundle Mimikyu stall deck that, I mean, we just got 1 Canceling Cologne, and then we were able to try Frost and knock everything they had out. This deck does want to go first, because since that video won't be played, I kind of have to reiterate, but totally fine. Just part of recording. Yeah, it was just a really boring video. Like, it wasn't some meta deck that you would learn from, so I decided to cut that out. Like I said, you do want to go first, because then you can get your Regidrago attacking right away. I'm honestly not too happy with this hand. Okay, now I'm a little more happy, but not too much. So we're gonna go here. Probably discard there, right? Wait, we need fire for attach, we need grass. Then we need the Ultra Ball for that. Oh geez, I'm not entirely... So I think we're going to end up discarding grass, and then, I hate doing this, but the Iono. How many more? Okay, we only have 1 other Regidrago, so yeah, we're going to have to discard the Iono here, which really sucks. We might be doing too much on this first turn here. Do we grab Squawk? No, this hand is not really squawkable. Oh, there we go. That's going to give us our Squawk. Which, I mean, losing the 1 Regidrago isn't ideal, but we should survive without it. We have the other one in the deck. So Energy Switch right away. And then we can also use that V-Star to get that Regidrago back, or that Night Stretcher, we can get it back that way. Do we want to go for the second setup? How much energy is in here? So we got 5 more grass. How many energy switch? One of our energy switches prized. Looks like Goodra is prized, I think. So I think we just go for the second Regi. But I don't know. It shouldn't matter too much. That's all we can do this turn. Because we're not going to burn a Night Stretcher. Well, I mean, hypothetically, we could have Nest Balled for a Teal Mask, Night Stretchered for the 1 grass, and seen what we draw. But that would be way too many resources for a single card chance. Especially on our first turn. So it's probably going to end up happening here is Night Stretcher for V-Star, and then Professor's Research to get that Tina gone. Yeah. Ooh, if he just Rotoms and passes, that'd be really nice. Never mind, he's doing a bunch more. So he's gonna get that Buddy Buddy Poffin, get more Dreepies out. He plays Sparkling Crystal, so he's gonna get an attack going really quickly. Probably has the candy in hand. He's Ultra Balling for the... So maybe Iono. We might actually Iono just to mess up his setup. Yeah, he grabs the Dragapult, so he's probably looking to get his... He probably has Rare Candy in hand, or maybe Arven in hand. Something like that. So I think we're actually going to Iono just to disrupt his setup. We are going to Night Stretcher for that Regidrago right away. Because this is going to mess him up. He's not going to have a Dreepy to evolve. Yeah, we can... We're going to play that. And then we're going to go for the Iono. So we don't get Giratina in the discard, but we mess up his hand, so... This is not the most beautiful of hands, but it could work. We're gonna hold on to that Legacy, I think. Maybe? Actually, no. We're gonna use Legacy for Ultra Ball here, because then we can get Kyurem in the discard. Right? We get Kyurem in the discard, we can grab ourselves a Teal Mask. We grab an Energy Switch? Yeah, I think we do. Okay. Kind of coming together here. So we can do this, get rid of those guys. Grab you. So the Energy Switch is really just going to let us draw one more card, if I'm being honest. So it might be kind of a waste of resources. But we're going to get to Trifrost here. Then we discard a lot of energy. I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot that we discard the energy, so that might have been a really bad misplay just now. Yeah, that was my own fault. So we are just going to go for the Phantom Dive, I think. Because as long as we get... And I think we're going to start etching away at Rotom. That's a 2-prize liability there. Yeah, a huge misplay on my part. In my brain, I was like, oh yeah, we'll go for the Trifrost, get tons of damage on his stuff, and make sure he doesn't have a Dreepy. But obviously that was not what we wanted to do, because discarding energy is not fun with this deck. And doing it that early in the game for effectively the same result, because everything would be getting knocked out regardless. It looks like that Iono did hurt him quite a bit, thankfully. Alright, he's got 2 Dreepies out, so he's going to be able, unless we Trifrost this turn, he's going to be able to get a Dragapult out. So it might almost be worth it, depending on what we see. How much energy in discard? We got two energy in discard already. 3 energy switches. That's terrible. And then 1 superior energy retrieval. So since we only have 1 energy switch left, we're probably just gonna slowly get our Regidragos up. Is this discard all energy? Yeah, all energy. Okay. We don't have to worry about that, so we're just gonna go ahead and research here, because it's a totally unplayable hand otherwise. I think we grab... Part of me wants to Trifrost here. but I think I might just be going a little too crazy with those. Yeah. See, if we try Frost, he can't get Dragapult out. And then 110, we could put his Radiant Alakazam really low, so when we use Tina... Alright, hold on. We're down 2 Vessels. We're down 3 Energy Switch. So it's going to take us a while to get our energy back. We only have 11 cards, and I think we do go for the Trifrost here, because we still have 1 energy retrieval. We're going to get that Radiant Alakazam really low, or it'd be what, 170, 20 damage off. Taking 2 prize cards here. Yeah, I think we're going to do this. Primarily, we're preventing him from getting a Dragapult out, just at all. Just locking him down. There's our Goodra, and another Regidrago. I probably should have checked prizes, if I'm being honest, because if our second energy retrieval is prized and our second fire is prized, that's going to put us in a terrible position. How much grass are we on to? 4. So, worst comes to worst, if because I didn't check prizes, I kind of ruined myself, I still at least get to Teal Mask. Alright, that Vessel's gonna hopefully save us. So, he's doing that to stall, which honestly we're fine with because we need the time. Looks like he's gonna be going for Duskull plays. Boss's orders. So we are going to go here. Go that. Get our fire for attachment. There's 3 grass left. How much is our energy retrieval in here? It is. Okay. So I think we're going to actually grab the grass and then use the teal bands. We're not going to charge up the active because we still have switch. Do we still have switch? I thought I just saw switch. Yeah, we still have switch. And we want to hopefully just switch out this Regidrago, because we can't afford the retreat, obviously. There's the superior energy retrieval. We have to wait till next turn to use it when we draw. That'll discard us a boss. Ooh. I think we're just going to leave it at that. Do we have another boss in... So we have another boss in deck. So like I said, I have not played this deck, like, nearly at all. Very, very little, just a couple of games. I think this is like my 6th or 7th game ever using the deck. So he needs a switch card in hand because Radiant Alakazam has a 2 retreat. So he could get the rare candy into his Dreepy this turn to get Dragapult. And then he's dealing 200 and then 60 to something on the bench. Dusclops. Alright, so he could get knockout on our Regidrago right now, which is not the end of the world, because then we don't need to find a switch option. But we are quite a bit of energy behind. I'm torn, because if we'll see what we top deck. We'll see what we top deck, because we got 1 more energy switch. And we have 2 more grass energy. So I might be crazy and just grab... Okay. Actually, we might be fine. Because now we just need to get knockout on that Rotom V. And there's the grass. So, yeah. Alright, there's the Iono. Alright, we're definitely going for the boss. I want him to get knockout on Regidrago, but if he doesn't, again, there's still that switch in the deck. We now have one more grass in the deck. So it might be game here. Because we can Phantom Dive and place damage onto that Rotom for game. Actually, he might not have the retreat. Yeah, he doesn't have the retreat, so we'll see what we can make happen here. What's the top deck? Grass. We're just going to go ahead and play that right away. Then Professor's Research. There's Prime Catcher. So we don't have that Energy Switch. It's in our last 4 cards. So obviously not ideal. I think we're going to go here to try and draw it. So cross our fingers. One of our 4 cards is Energy Switch. 25% chance. And we get this normal switch. Okay, so he can deal 200 damage, 250. If he gets the Dust Collapse play onto our Regidrago, that's really, really bad. Our Regidrago VSTAR with the energy. Actually, we might have it. We might have it. Wait. Oh, our last energy switch is in the... Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. I'm actually an idiot. 1, 2, 3, yeah. One of our energy switches prized, so we might lose just because of that. That's so sad. Prime Catcher doesn't help us here. Switch does not help us here. Because, I mean, he's just going to go for a boss play. That's so sad. I thought we had one more in the deck. That's what I get for not checking prizes. So he's going to attach to Radiant Alakazam, retreat, boss up Regidrago. I mean, he needs a lot of pieces, but he probably has it. Rare Candy, so he's going to be able to deal tons of damage to our Regidrago. Yeah, he's got the retreat, he's got the damage. As long as he has the boss's orders, I mean, I think that's game. We do have an energy switch, or energy retrieval, superior energy retrieval. But I mean, there's just really no way we're getting that. That's too many turns of acting. We're gonna deck ourselves out before we were able to attach that much energy. Judging by his delay, he might not have the boss, in which case I think we win. Yeah, we win if he doesn't have boss in hand or some way to draw it. So terrible misplays. So our last prize card is that energy switch. So I don't think he has boss in hand unless he's just wasting our time. I think we win. Because even though he had, yep, that's game. He's gonna take 2 prizes off our Squawk, but it doesn't matter. We got the switch, we got the energy. That's game. Alright, so a bit scary, not even gonna lie, but we made it work, thankfully. And that's all she wrote. Just for a little funsies. Discard our last card. Okay, so there's our last energy switch. Very scary. I'm sure that was many misplays on my part, but I mean, the deck speaks for itself. We were able to keep that Dragapult. We were able to force them to not get a Dragapult out for quite some time, and ultimately took away the win. Oh, nice little level up there. So Yeah, I mean the deck speaks for itself. I think training with it, and obviously if you have practiced with Regidrago already, you're gonna be able to win a lot of your matchups. This deck is already proven in Latin American region with many. I think the worst placement this deck has gotten is 60th, and if you look at a lot of other decks that are used frequently, I mean that's really good. So that's the deck. That's kind of how you play it, I guess. So thank you all for watching and have a lovely day. Comment down below what decks you guys want to see next, as well as like and subscribe to hopefully help out the channel. All right, have a good one.